almost 40 pages for $1.50. Hello everyone out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So if you may have figured out by now, despite being called DC Fans United, occasionally I review books that aren't DC. So this is a continuation of my Alterna reviews. I've reviewed 3 others so far. I reviewed Go West, Tinseltown, and Midnight Mystery #1. Respectively for those. So I'll include a playlist for those reviews in the description box. So we have Exilium #1, a galaxy at war, a planet in peril. So you get the idea right just from the cover and the text here that this is going to be a sci-fi book, and you are correct. And if you hear a rooster crowing in the background, it is one of our roosters. We have chickens and roosters, and it is being noisy despite it being afternoon. So, on this book we have Ben Salbach, Solomon Ferraris, and Mark Sintez, and then HDE. There's the rooster. HDE again did the lettering. So it really seems to me that HDE does most, if not all, of the lettering on Alterna books. So we'll go ahead and check it out. One thing I noticed right off the bat, the art's actually quite good. This rooster's killing me. You're just going to have to bear with him. But yeah, the art's actually really good. Of the 4 Alterna books I've reviewed, this one and Tinseltown definitely had the best art. So you get the idea here. There's an alien, and I noticed right off the bat, too, they have good action poses. It's not just people standing around stationary. I'm also a big fan of, I've mentioned this before, cityscapes and backgrounds that are highly detailed. This comic's got a lot of detail, especially with the price point being $1.50. So anyways, there's an alien, and he's being chased by some drones, so you can see they're shooting at him. I was really interested too by the architecture throughout. I can't tell. It kind of looks like maybe they're in Africa or the Middle East. So I don't know. I'd be interested to know where they're set specifically. So anyways, he's getting chased along and shot at. And it turns out he's basically the lure. So he's luring the drones to their mech, and there's another dude he's running. And, it's hard to fully describe everything that's happening, but essentially he gets into a fight then with it, the mech and the thing, and he starts to lose. Doesn't look too good. But our female hero pops out with this big gun and shoots it down. So I'd just like to point out, like, the colors. It's got good coloring. This is one thing, too, I've actually criticized a few books recently for both DC and Alterna, is not using many panels on their pages. They'll have like one panel and then maybe, it'll be like 2 or 3 on a page. Exilium does a really good job of using their panel space well. You can see this is a great example of a ton of panels showing you a lot of action and what's going on. So, I don't want to give away everything, but this is then your little team that you're introduced to. Is Nina is the female, this guy named Two or True, something along those lines, and I forget the dude's name, but basically they're a trio. And there's some really funny dialogue too, like, the alien here, he's a male apparently, another dude, and they're giving each other grief, like, let's see, oh, quit whining, Nina here will take you shopping. And he's like, so I can buy you a dress, kind of like guy banter. It's just funny, giving each other a little bit of grief. But look at this art. Isn't that good? It's really good. No slacking on the backgrounds. Very detailed. And we're only page 1. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, 7. It was like a lot had happened for page 1. I do like how they number these. So yeah, it's their research lab. I don't want to give away everything, but essentially, yeah, the researcher figures some stuff out. Got some dialogue between the leaders. There's a bit of flashback here, so this is some good character development for Nina. I get the impression she's going to be the main character. Um, oh, this cover. I was thinking of the other cover that has them on it. But anyways, this is her as a girl, a child, and she's just remembering. Um, let's skip a couple pages because I really do encourage you guys to buy this. It's a good, really good book. I'm not sure if I like this or Tinseltown the best, but this is up there. It's a really good book. It would certainly be worth $3 or so. But anyways, their main dude, and I skipped a few pages, but their leader then tells them what the deal is, and they need to go and find Exilium. So I didn't explain it too well, but the original premise, well, they get into it here actually. So the main dude, the main alien that you know, is remembering when his people first came to Earth. So the stories my parents told me. So the deal with him and his race is they were attacked by another alien race and they fled to Earth. And to stay on Earth, they had to give up their ships and technology to the humans. And it really was a bad deal because they still, it's really sad too. A lot of the ones on Earth get like murdered and persecuted, and you really identify with them and feel bad for them. But it seems like things have moved past that somewhat because they've had to unite in the war against their mutual enemy. One thing too, though, I found to be a little interesting is this could be, in modern day politics, taken to be like, the refugee crisis, or in the United States, the border crisis is the term that's used. But like, immigration and people coming, and even the protesters here has a sign that says "Go home, aliens." So I was wondering when I was reading it, is this meaning like the modern day? Like, is it supposed to be an analogy, or is it just a sci-fi story? I think it can be taken either way, honestly. And personally, I didn't think it detracted from it. I really get the impression that this is the story they wanted to tell, and modern day politics could be interwoven with this, but it doesn't have to be. So anyways, it's kind of like District 9, right? Where you end up kind of sympathizing with the aliens a little bit, or a lot, because of how the humans treat them. But District 9's, I thought that was a pretty good movie, but you could also read into it as having politics. So it's really up to you. So yeah, they're preparing for their mission. And this part I thought was cool. I always like this worldwide, especially in sci-fi, everyone on the planet working together. So you see the different teams, like he's in Sydney and Melbourne, Moscow, London. One thing I thought maybe, because none of the other teams are listed with an American city, that maybe the main characters are in the United States. Isn't really explained, but that was the only clue I got to where they might be in the world. That's my thought, but then the buildings didn't look American, so I don't know. So anyways, Nina is going to go ahead of the crew. She is off on her mission. She's going to be the lead ship and going, seems like probably the night before everyone else goes. And this is some really good sci-fi stuff. You see her flying in space. She's got the alien ship. It's really cool. Let's see. And yeah, I just recommend it. If you like sci-fi, if you like action, it's got some comedy. Oh, okay. This page I have to show. This was my favorite page. And come on, this needs to focus because this is some really good art. Okay, here we go. So look at this. It's so beautiful. But this is what it is the ships, the fleet is leaving Earth. And you see the groups of ships leaving the different parts of the world. So obviously this is Brazil. That's the Christ statue, Christ the Redeemer statue that they have in Rio de Janeiro. And then this, you can tell it's Africa, Sydney, Australia. This looks like it's got to be the Arctic or something. It's a icy region anyways. But combined with this really beautiful, well-drawn and colored art, there's actually some Bible verses, believe it or not. And they're really poignant. So the ships are leaving, and it says, "The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day." Dude, that's so cool. And then it goes on and says, let justice roll on like many waters, righteousness like a never failing stream. That's really interesting. So it's kind of like there's a little something for everyone in this book. The Christians have got their Bible verses, the people that are more into left-leaning politics, they've got their stuff too. But even that, there's left-leaning Christians too. So again, I don't want to read into it too much and try and put other people's messages on this. I really get the impression, because they're using some old school kind of stuff here and having some new school stuff, that this is just a story that the creators wanted to tell, and it isn't trying to talk about modern day politics. And I just love this page, honestly. The art on it and the message is so good and matched so well. Like, this page alone sold the comic for me. I would put this page on my wall. It's really pretty. I love it. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away everything. Like I said, it's literally 40 pages. I think the numbered pages goes up to 38, and it's just a steal. Sometimes they're on sale too. Like, I got this for $1.12 on their Etsy store. So I really can't wait to get the later issues of Exilium as well. But I'm gonna skip a whole bunch of pages. I'm skipping 27 up to 37. Sorry, but it's only $1. You guys should buy it. Anyways, not to give too much away, but she did manage to get onto the alien command ship, and the human fleet shows up. And there's some really good, like, I skipped a lot of action pages just now. There's some really good star battles, like spaceships fighting each other and stuff in space. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, this would almost make a better movie than a script, but it would need a huge budget. I'm talking at least $200 million for these effects, but it's a very good story. So I am going to show the last page. I skipped a bunch, so I feel like I can. She's on the ship. She's reading into the alien stuff, and then, oh no. And they're like, we've got more incoming. How many on screen? And you just see it's like a never-ending fleet coming at them. Dear Lord. So that's how it ends. That's their cliffhanger ending. Makes me want to buy the next issue. That's what you do when you write a good comic. So 1 and 6. Okay, good. I was afraid it was 1 and 4. So I'm definitely going to get all the other issues. I would recommend the heck out of this book. Right now, it's probably my favorite, but I really can't sing enough praises for Tinseltown as well. That book is amazing. So, sorry this was a bit of an unconventional video. I know I had a lot of background noise, and I kind of rambled more than I sometimes do, but yeah, it's a one-man show here at DC Fans United. That's why I can talk about things aside from DC Comics. Sometimes I wish I'd branded my channel a little differently, like made it a more open-ended term. But really what it comes back to, I don't want to show everything, but really what it comes back to, if you know, DC Fans United was originally a Facebook group. When it first started, I didn't have any intention of making a YouTube channel, so DC Fans United on Facebook, and I just continued with that brand and moved over on YouTube. Obviously, I'd say at least 90% of my content's DC related, but sometimes I wish I'd made it more broad so I could cover more things within the theme. Because sometimes I get comments too, they'll say, hey, Alterna, that's not a DC comic, and it's just like, well, it's my channel, I can talk about whatever I want. So I don't know. I guess if you made it to the very end of the video, you must be a fan. So let me know down below. Do you think I should change the channel name and try and rebrand it as something else? Or do you think I should stick with the DC Fans United title? Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Definitely check out Exilium if you can get it at your comic book shop, or just check out the Etsy store. It's honestly, I think it's Etsy/Alterna.com, something along those lines, or just Google Alterna and Etsy and you'll find it. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.